I hope you enjoy my stories. Instead of just clicking thumbs down, please comment and share how we can do better. If you do like our video, then please like and subscribe.
The bartenders an alien. The quiet would soon to be a deafening roar, Frank thought happily.
He couldn't figure out why or how it was all happening, but nonetheless, it was happening. The bar was doing great. He had lost a few pounds and was feeling much better about himself.
He even took to wasting a few dollars, sprucing the place up a bit. 7 nights a week, his bar was busy. He may even start taking reservations.
Another happy thought.
At the moment, there was a lull in between the lunch and the evening crowd, just a few regulars sitting quietly at mostly empty tables.
John seemed to have shown up early that day and was unobtrusively sitting by himself, nursing a fresh scotch that Frank had just delivered.
"How's it going, John?" Frank asked. "Well, my friend, everything is in order and everything progressing smoothly."
"It seems you're doing much better than the first time I met you. There is happiness in your step and a smile in your voice. These are very good things to see, and I am glad to be a witness of them,"
John replied in a smooth voice. "How's business treating you?"
Frank inquired. Business as always. Business is up and down. However, I always seem to do well. My plans seem to work out, and every day brings a new challenge.
"What more could I ask?"
I've met many fresh faces and gained many new friends. "Okay, John, I'll leave you to your relaxation and I'll get busy pretending I'm doing something valuable," Frank said with a chuckle, walking slowly away.
A few hours passed as the evening crowd slowly began to trickle in. Tables began to fill quickly. Some people Frank recognized, others, for all he knew, were people here for the first time.
It was harder to keep track of everyone now.
Waitresses had taken over most of the job of overseeing the clientele. He mostly worked behind the bar, as he always had. He smiled at the crowd and a few particular people that he could manage to single out.
"Why the hell you bring me here? You know, I don't like it, not this bar. We have history that I would prefer to forget," Johnny said with anguish.
"Oh, come on now.
"It's my birthday, have you forgotten? You agreed to go to any place I wanted to go tonight. Well, this is the place.
Besides, it's a great bar."
"What the hell you do last time you were here? Pinch a waitress?"
Sullivan asked, laughing.
No, damn it, nothing like that at all.
"I just don't like the place."
"Well, Johnny, you have to put up with it for a few hours because we're staying," Sullivan stated as he maneuvered toward a table.
Johnny let out an audible sigh and sat with his back towards the bar in his uncomfortable, ill-fitting suit that seemed to bite him in all the wrong places. Melissa approached the table wearing a provocative outfit, balancing a small tray on her left hand, making small weaving gestures with it. Stopping beside Johnny, she studied both men's faces.
"What can I get you tonight, boys?" she asked in a sweet, sultry voice. "Well, it's my birthday, so what would you recommend?" Sullivan asked with a chuckle, eyeing the waitress top to bottom.
"Your birthday, eh? Let's see some ID."
"What, do you think I'm a minor?"
"You tell me that it's your birthday, so just show me your ID."
Sullivan winced and slowly extracted his wallet from his inside pocket of his suit. Thumbing through the various compartments of the wallet, he pulled his driver's license and promptly passed it to the waitress. Melissa looked at the dates on the license and the picture. "Well, looks like you, or close enough to be you, so I guess it's your birthday. Happy birthday. We have a new policy here now at Clancy's, and for your birthday, the house will buy you a drink and a steak dinner."
"How do you want your steak?"
Melissa asked with amusement. "Wow, that's fantastic. I'll take my medium well." "Johnny, you want a steak, or you can watch me eat?" Johnny looked up from the table. "Sure, just bring me the same as him," he said with reluctance.
Melissa scratched a few things onto a pad and what to drink.
"Just bring us a couple of beers,"
Sullivan said. "Any particular kind of beer?" "Nah, surprise us."
Sullivan jested.
Sketching a few more notes on the pad, Melissa left quickly to fill the order. "See, Johnny, this place is fantastic. What were you moaning about?" "It's not every bar that'll treat you this well."
"I don't want to talk about it."
Johnny said in a nervous voice as he fidgeted about pulling at various areas of his suit, trying to get more comfortable.
Look, Johnny, everybody else is going to be here in an hour or so. Damn, I forgot to mention that to the waitress.
We have to make sure we get enough seats, because we want everybody to sit together. Remind me.
That is your only job right now. Besides all that, Johnny, you have been my best friend since grade 3. Quit looking all bummed out and tell me what your problem is. With 2 freshly opened bottles of beer on her tray, Melissa wiggled slightly as she approached the table.
She casually placed a bottle in front of each one of them. Okay, boys, you want pay as you go or run a tab? More people.
Johnny mumbled. Sullivan grinned at her, a tab for sure as well. We have at least another 10 people coming. Is it possible that we can put a few tables together? You're lucky. The place is starting to fill up fast, so if you need the tables, pull those 3 there over to your table,
she said, pointing at a few empty tables.
With the minor task accomplished, Johnny proceeded to mope, barely touching his beer. Okay, Johnny, what gives?
You have to tell me what's wrong. Doesn't really matter what I say. You're not going to believe me anyways,
he said in a mumbled tone.
Damn it, Johnny, you already know you can tell me anything. You don't make up wild stories very often unless they are funny.
John was casually strolling past the table. Noticing Johnny, he smiled broadly and waved. Looking directly at him, he said, I'll talk to you a bit later, my new friend, and continued on his way. Johnny looked like he'd seen a ghost, tried to slide further down into his chair, and brought his hands up to cover his face.
He began to tremble slightly. Sullivan, noticing the sudden change in Johnny, reached over to give him a shake. The touch caused Johnny to bolt from his chair, spilling the beer.
He made a mad dash through the now crowded room towards the bathroom. Not knowing what to do, Sullivan waited, with the need to protect the tables fresh in his mind.
The waitress attracted the sound of spilling beer, and the clank of glass hurried towards the table. Sullivan watched her every move. Is everything okay with your friend?
She asked with concern.
Oh yeah, he just had a sudden urge to use the bathroom. He'll be fine and will be back shortly. In the meantime, could you possibly get us some fresh beer? He tried to ask in his best seductive voice. Coming right up, she said in a soft voice, striding away from the table. Sullivan watched and enjoyed every curve of her body. He let out a small sigh and thought maybe. The beer arrived just slightly ahead of Johnny, and Melissa looked at him with concern. Are you going to be okay?
Yes, I'm fine. I'll be all right, he said in a subdued voice. There was a large wet patch on the front of Johnny's suit, which made Sullivan think he had possibly spewed on himself. Johnny, what the hell? What scared you so bad? You'd be worried shitless. The bartender is an alien, Johnny said in a barely audible monotone. What? You heard me told you. You wouldn't believe me.
Alien, do you mean like an illegal alien? No, damn it. I mean the kind with ray guns and flying saucers and...
F it, you know what I mean?
Johnny said a little louder. What the hell are you talking about?
Exactly what I said. Aliens, the damn bartenders, an alien period.
I'm not making this shit up. Why do you think I didn't want to come here? I told you I didn't want to come here. The last time I was here.
Well,
it wasn't good.
What happened last time you were here? Can you tell me that?
Visibly agitated, Johnny decided to respond.
Well, look, I was here a few weeks back. You know, have a few beers, few laughs, maybe stare at some nice waitress ass. I only had a couple of beers, well, maybe 5 tops. And suddenly, man, I was wasted.
Right out of my mind.
I don't know how that happened. The next thing I know, I'm in some kind of weird spaceship, and then I don't know it. It docked with a bigger one or something. I got strapped into a chair. He trailed off into his own thoughts.
Wait a minute. You like talking alien abduction, where they do like probes and shit?
Because if you tell me that kind of crap, I'll know you just F-ing with me, Sullivan said in disgust.
Come on, man, it's my damn birthday.
I know you didn't want to come this far, but now you're just making shit up. Sully, no probe, that's the weird part.
I'm not making this stuff up.
Look, this is how it happened. I was like strapped in a chair.
There was a band on my head that forced my eyes open.
There's some kind of a weird-ass TV, and it was playing some kind of weird alien TV shows.
I couldn't understand a effing thing.
Then there was a fat lady singing in some weird kind of song, but somehow I could understand the words. But damn, she was huge. That was the fattest woman I ever seen in my life. It has just got weirder from there.
Why the F would I make this shit up?
You're like my brother. I know it's your damn birthday. I have said happy birthday 50 effing times.
He said with resentment.
Ah, come on, man.
The bartender is an alien. Johnny screamed at the top of his lungs. John had been listening intently to the conversation from halfway across the room, laughed hysterically and promptly vanished.
Frank and Melissa rushed over to the table to find out what the problem was. Upon his arrival, Frank looked at Johnny and said, You're back and drunk again.
What kind of drugs is he on? The last time he was here, he got drunk out of his mind. I fired the waitress for letting him get that drunk.
We run a nice establishment here.
People are here to have a good time. They don't get falling down drunk. That's the rule. Your buddy was so smashed when he was here, I had to stick him in a cab. John, one of my regulars, assured me that he would get home safe. John is a really good guy. I know for sure he would have made sure that your buddy got home safe.
I don't know what wild delusions he suffered after he got home, but nobody's a damn alien here.
Frank said with disgust.
Johnny looked up at Frank. I sort of remember you, but it was the other guy, the other bartender. He said he was a bartender or something or consultant. I don't know. All I know is I was abducted.
Frank looked at Sullivan. I understand it is your birthday now. If you can assure me your buddy here is going to stay nice and quiet and under control, you can stay.
If that's not the case, then I will have to ask you both to leave immediately. Don't worry, sir. I'll keep him nice and calm for the rest of the night. No probs. Okay, but he doesn't get any more drinks, period. Melissa, Frank said, getting her attention, you make sure of that.
And strode away from the table.
Sully, see you bastard, that's why I didn't want to tell you anything. Johnny said with exasperation. Now I'm the designated driver too. Finances. Belinda, I need a ready source of whatever serves as currency here and quickly. Why?
Belinda asked, looking up from her console. Isn't it enough that I need it? John replied. Acquiring credits on this planet is a risky proposition, so knowing the purpose will allow me to set the proper parameters.
I want to buy some things, John said non-committally. In reference to what? Do I have to explain everything? John asked, exasperated as he walked over to stand next to Belinda. Yes.
Okay, I'll explain everything to you later, but for now, what do you suggest is the best course of action here?
What commodities are considered to be valuable here that we can easily manufacture?
How long is this all going to take? Diamonds would be the easiest thing to manufacture, including the inclusion of impurities into the lattice at a molecular level. They would not be distinguishable from naturally occurring as well. John interrupted her. Diamonds are worthless, while perhaps they have some kind of a market for industrial, I don't.
On our planet, they're worthless. Here is an entirely different matter.
The waste products from the diamonds are used industrially. However, in jewelry, it is a highly prized commodity that commands a hefty price.
Belinda said, cutting him off, and then continued. Raw materials are abundant, and the energy needed to produce them will not overtax our systems. All right, Belinda makes several tons of those.
It's not as simple as that, John. They have to look like they have been legitimately produced.
Not only that, but to produce the currency you're looking for, I will have to build a history for you on this planet.
All of the digital records will be easy enough to modify, but I still have to insert hard copy into the records.
Their banking system has to be manipulated with sufficient depth to have it appear that you have always been here.
This will take a little bit of time for me to put into place, and I don't want you to leave the ship until I'm done.
What? Why do I have to stay here?
It will only be for a few days.
I don't want to have to try and fix what you're doing while I'm working on this. Most of the androids will be assigned to this task, which means I will have to pay particular attention to everything they're doing.
This will stretch my resources a little thin for a few days.
After that, everything should be back to normal. I will also have to find an undiscovered kimberlite pipe that we can seed with the new diamonds.
As for currency, the banking system here should be easy enough to manipulate to give you sufficient access to local legal tender. What do you expect me to do in the meantime? John asked. Nothing,
Belinda stated as she pressed areas on the console in front of her.
I would like to thank you for watching the video to the end. To encourage us to make more videos, please like, subscribe, comment, as well as share. Check out this other video if you haven't already.